So a few years ago, I was giving a speech out of town at a convention. And after the speech, this guy who was part of the committee that hired me walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, I'm Ed, and I was watching the way you handled that microphone up there. I gotta hand it to you. You have beautiful wrists." I said, "Excuse me?" He goes, "Your wrists. They're perfect shape, perfect size. They're elegant. The way they rotated up there, smooth. I wish I had your wrists." Being from New York, my immediate reaction was, "Oh, great. Now I have to sleep with my wrists under the pillow because he is going to try to steal them." And I thought, okay, well, maybe I'm being a little paranoid because to steal them, he would have to slit them. And that would ruin their aesthetic quality. Not to mention that he'd be arrested for murder and sent to prison for the rest of his life, and they would separate him from my wrists. But being desperate for attention and any kind of recognition and being insecure, I immediately thought, you know, I do have beautiful wrists. These are superb wrists. And they went from something that I literally never think about to being my favorite body part, just like that. Ed says, "What do I have to do to have wrists like that?" I said, "I can't divulge that to you. Do you have any idea how much time and effort goes into developing wrists like this? However, I am putting together a beautiful wrist workshop, which you can sign up for on my website online tomorrow. It'll be up tomorrow." And walks away. At this point, the head with the speech, I just want to get more attention to my wrists. So I walk around the room introducing myself, going, "Hi, nice to meet you. How are you?" And I had to stop doing that because people were looking at me weird and walking away. And, frankly, it's a little gay. But afterwards, I still wanted to draw attention to my wrists. So I bought a bracelet. Now, I never wear any kind of jewelry in my life, not even a wristwatch. And so having a bracelet was weird, and it didn't really feel complete. So then I bought an earring to go with it, and then I grew out some facial hair, and somehow it needed a bandana to go with it, and a nose stud. I started noticing that the amount of speaking engagements that I got had dropped precipitously. So I went to my agent and asked him what was up. And he says, "People don't want to hire you because you look like a fucking pirate." The good news is that it gave me more time to develop my beautiful wrist workshop, which made me think about what exactly is it that makes my wrist so special. And after considering all the factors, I had to narrow it down. I narrowed it down to one thing: a lifetime of jerking off. Because jerking off, it's good exercise, it's terrific for the circulation, it keeps fluidity, it develops a strong grip, and afterwards you get this protein liquid which makes a nice balm for the skin tone. And as soon as I realized that, I freaked out because I've been whacking off with the same hand all my life. So I panicked and I whipped out both wrists and I put them together and I was horrified. They were hideously mismatched. This wrist was twice as big as this wrist. It was grotesque. And I couldn't walk out in public like this. I started walking around like this. And when I carried a package, I was carrying it like this so people couldn't see my two wrists together. Well, this obviously was an untenable situation. So there was only one solution. I had to start whacking off with this hand. And the builders went up. But it was a formidable task because this wrist had a 50-year and 10,000 times head start. But there was no other choice. So I started using this wrist. And I have to say, it was very disappointing. This wrist did not understand my body at all. It was inexperienced, and plus, it felt like I was cheating on this wrist. And I had the bracelet, and using the bracelet, so I started chafing, and I developed a blister on my dick. My girlfriend sees this, and she goes, "What is that?" And I explained the whole thing about the wrists and the chafing, and she says, "Let me see." So I put my wrists together, showed her. She goes, "What the hell are you talking about? Your two wrists are identical. There's no difference." She accused me of cheating, and she left me. The next year, at the same time, I went back to that convention, and I saw Ed again. I went up to him. I said, you ruined my life. I lost my job, my girlfriend, whacking off sucks. I got a blister on my dick. And he says, "What are you talking about?" I said, "What you told me last year. You said I had beautiful wrists." He goes, That's what ruined your life? Oh, man, I was just playing with you, man. He goes, that speech you gave last year, it kind of blew. And I had to say something to you, so I gave you a backhanded compliment. I said, "Are you telling me that I don't have beautiful wrists?" He looks at them, he goes, "They're right. They're fucking wrists." And he walks away. And I reached out with my wrists, and I grabbed him by the throat, and I strangled him, and I killed him in front of 250 people. And I was arrested and charged with murder. And the jury found me not guilty on the grounds that my wrists were temporarily insane.